This is Ralph, and in the last 6 months has been able to flip 2 houses working full-time as a New York City police officer. And the craziest part is that he's never invested in real estate before. This is his first time investing in real estate, and he was able to do 2 deals without ever visiting the property and with barely using his own money. In this video, he's gonna break down step by step how he went from never investing in real estate before to becoming a real estate investor in just a couple of months. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Martel and Friends podcast. Today we have Ralph sitting down with me. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Awesome, man. Of course. So first I want to talk about your real estate investing journey. You've been investing for, with FlipSystem, but I want to kind of go back to the very, very beginning and talk about why real estate. Like, why did you want to invest in real estate from the first place?
I think I started with like looking into Airbnbs at first, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I kind of wanted the long-term game, like not that high turnover rate and everything like that, and just getting involved in like, long-term rentals and having that passive income, like just building and building and building, you know? So.
And how long did you, like when did you start looking at real estate investing?
Oh my God, like 3 years ago, I was in that analysis paralysis, what they call it.
Yeah.
And I was reading books, like bigger pocket books, everything. And then I followed your channel for a long time, and I'm like, he makes it look easy. I'm like, there's got to be a way to this. So.
And I made it look, was it YouTube or where did you
both,
like?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, both. And when I actually love the videos where you went to the market and actually looked at the houses, talked to the contractors and everything. And I'm like, wow, people are actually doing this for real.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So a couple years ago, I've been looking at real estate investing. Did you ever try, and you live in New York, you work full-time here as well? Yep. What do you do for work?
I'm a full-time police officer, and I own a home inspection business as well.
Okay.
So
cool.
That's what made me really get into the real estate field, with seeing like what these real estate agents are doing out here.
Yeah.
I'm like, why can't I do that? There's got to be a way.
Okay, interesting.
So.
And what the hell made you want to start a home inspection business?
So I did construction before being a police officer, and I'm like, I want to do something that's like not breaking your back or something like that. And I just saw home inspections. I got my license and so fascinated by it and the way the market is and everything like that. And I'm like, all right, if I know these houses inside and out, I know what's going to happen with them,
Gotcha. Okay. And then did you ever try to invest here in New York, Manhattan?
I looked into it because I'm from Long Island. I looked into it, but like the prices are just too much for me like right now. But like maybe one day, maybe.
Got it.
And
then is that why you kind of looked at the Airbnb? Because I feel like around here, you can't, like, it's really tough to flip houses, really tough to buy long-term buy and hold doesn't really make sense. So you kind of go into the short-term Airbnb to make things make sense. Did you ever like dive deep into that, like looking at numbers here for Airbnb?
I did, and I'm like, with the rules in New York and stuff like that, I'm like, no. But I looked into like Pennsylvania, which is close to here. Yeah. And you had the mountains and everything like that. With during COVID, people were going to lakes, mountains, and everything. I'm like, oh, that's a great market. But then I'm like, it's getting too saturated. That worried me, and I'm like, all right, let me just do the long-term game, because it's like there's just steady income coming in every month. Like,
yeah.
Especially if it's a landlord-friendly area.
Yeah.
New York isn't, so that's why
Gotcha.
I would like to stay away from...
Gotcha.
I like New York, but not the loss.
Was it tough for you to invest, like, out of state? Like, did you have any... Because a lot of people, too, like, I grew up in San Francisco, LA, and then, like, a lot of people there were, I don't want to invest out of state. I would never do that. I want to touch and feel everything. And you're a home inspector, too, so you're, like, walking stuff. Did you have to get over that fear of, like, I just need to pull the trigger and, like, it doesn't make sense to invest here?
A little bit, but I just saw, like, I follow a lot of channels, and they all say, like, get out of California and New York and invest somewhere in the Midwest. Like, it's just booming. So I'm like, what do they mean by that? And I just, went down a rabbit hole and looked up everything I could, and I see everyone doing it. So I'm like, it could be done.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so all that online stuff really, like, convinced you that it was even possible to invest out of state.
Right.
Okay, cool. And then do you come from any kind of real estate family? Did you look at, like, anything besides real estate? Because obviously you had some money saved up from work. Like, you looked at Airbnb. Did you look at anything else, like Amazon, FBA?
I see that all over the place. I really do. But, like, it didn't, like, excite me like real estate does. Like, I think real estate is the best thing to invest in, like, better than stocks and everything. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. But I love it.
Awesome. Love that.
And I always talk about it with everybody, and I'm like, I always bore my friends because they don't really like it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Just got to meet with like-minded people with that. So
cool. So you tried to invest in real estate for a couple of years. Obviously, it's super hard to invest here locally. What made you finally like take that jump and like take the leap to actually like get out of analysis paralysis and actually do it?
Coming down to Florida to meet you and then seeing like how it works and like I was looking at reviews of you guys and everything, and reviews speak for themselves. They're really good. And it's basically, I'm like, you know what? It's better to get like a coaching program, like a mentor.
Yeah.
And when you guys like supplied the team, like that saves years. You know what I mean? If I went to go find a contractor, a property manager and all that, it would take me years, you know, like, cause you have to vet them and everything like that. So it would be tough. So
okay. And you knew that not from trying it, but more just like the amount of content that you consume.
Yeah, like I went through crazy amounts of rabbit holes with everything. So, so I just wanted to get like, I like knowing everything before I dive in type thing.
Yeah. I've got you. Okay, cool. So you come to Florida, you meet us. This is, by the way, we had like a one-day kind of event talking about FlipSystem. So he came down to that event. And then when you came down to that event, was that it? It was just like, oh man, this like
I fell in love, honestly, because like there's so many people in there that were like-minded people, and they're like, and some of them already had properties already. And I'm like, why are they here? And they wanted just to, you know, expand, you know. So I'm like, I think I'm in the right place. You know what I'm saying? So cool. In the way I forgot the guy's name who was the presentator. But, he was really, really good and informative. Yeah, he was great. Cool. And then that event was this year, right? That was earlier this year in January. January, yeah.
Okay, cool. What happened? Tell us what happened since January. What's gone on?
So a lot of things, honestly. A lot of like, you know, ups and downs, and like I learned a lot. So that's what I take from it. I think I had like one property and we were going through the whole thing, and we found some major cracks in the foundation. And even my realtor and like property manager's like, hey, let's back off this one. We'll get you another one. Yeah. And they send you so many. I mean, I go through them every day, especially with the FlipSystem app now. It makes it so much easier. Yeah. But just, I don't know, like they'll tell you, they'll guide you. Like they're not just trying to sell you into anything. Like they'll tell you if it's a good deal or not. And I've done like a lot of offers, but like I use that calculator, that tool. And if it's a number I like, I put the offer in. If it's not, then you know, it has to have that wiggle room too. So
gotcha. And have you been able to buy anything in the last 7 months?
I should be able to close on a duplex on Friday, actually tomorrow.
Awesome.
I'm going to try and keep that one because it actually appraised for a lot higher than we thought it would. So that's very good news. Good stuff. The first one was a single family, and that's still in the works. And I can't wait to get it going with that.
Okay, cool. So you bought the single family so far, and that's under construction?
It's about to be, yeah.
About to be under construction. Yep. Okay, cool. And then the duplex is just like a buy and hold?
Buy and hold, and it should be under construction, like Megan said, like probably right away.
Okay.
So,
awesome, man.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Great.
And it's in a good area, and I'm just going to cash out refinance in 6 months and do it again.
Awesome. Good stuff. So that one the duplex is vacant?
Yeah, it's vacant.
Okay, you're going to turn it over and then probably just BRRRR it out?
Yeah, definitely.
Because especially now with the interest rates, I mean, that's probably a pretty good time to get in.
I'm so happy about that, you know, because it's like I'm literally in the midst of it. Yeah. And then hopefully when I close on it, the rate just drop. And then in 6 months, if it keeps dropping, it'll be even better for me, you know?
Yeah. And then your single family house too, since you bought it before the rate spike or the rate drop, then now you're renovating it. Then what's the plan with that deal?
So it all depends. Like, let's see what it appraised for is after. Like, I would like maybe the MLS, but I would like to do, you know, put the tenant in there and then put it on the FlipSystem MartelTurnkey website, and because it's going to sell faster, to be honest, I think. So and without those fees and everything like that, the realtors charge. Even though it's cheap in Michigan, but still, you know.
Okay, got it. And you're investing in Detroit, Michigan. Then.
Yep.
Okay, got it. And how is people have a lot of negative notions about Detroit. How's your experience?
So many. Been? Honestly, I think the people are really, really nice there. I keep hearing Michigan's a beautiful state. Yeah. And from your content and like articles I'm reading, Detroit's going to be like a booming city in the next few years. Like I remember someone saying that they're the only self-charging highway with Tesla and stuff like that. I'm like, come on, they're not going to invest money into that if they don't feel like it's going to take off. And it seems like the mayor's doing a lot. So like, and it's so cheap to buy. So
you gotta go visit too. It's crazy. You can like totally see how it used to be the New York City of America. You know?
Really?
It was insane. It's insane if you go and visit and you go walk around. Like you walk around downtown, you're like, this could be like a Chicago in
No
10
way.
years.
I honestly can see it.
It's insane.
And even my realtor goes, he's like, honestly, I've been living here for a long time and I see it booming. Like it's crazy. And I actually just met somebody. How random is this? At work. And he's like, oh, I'm visiting from Detroit, Michigan. So obviously I'm picking his brain about it. And he's like, honestly, you have to invest there. He even told me that.
Wow.
And he lives there. He's like, I'm not into real estate at all, but I see what they're doing to it and you got to get in there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and
so,
have you told your friends, family, like what you're doing, what you're up to, and what's their reaction been?
Yeah, they're they're traditional, so they don't really get it at first. But I'm starting to teach my brother a little bit, and he wants to become like an investor one day. So I'm just going to use his money to go and put down on that hard money lender, and just keep going with that too. Like get and give him obviously a percentage too. But but that's how I want to keep going with it.
Cool.
Scale.
Awesome. Makes sense. And then for like, what kind of challenges have you had thus far? You bought one house, I'm pretty much about to close on your second deal. Like what challenges have you faced? Like what's been the most,
I'd say the biggest challenge probably is, honestly, there's not many. Like everyone gets back to you pretty quick. I'm having a challenge right now with the insurance company. They're not sending a quote right away for some reason, but it is what it is. It's going to come. I've had her send me several before, so I'm not like discouraged by any means. But I'm trying to think. I don't really have any. Really, to be honest. You guys are really helpful. You guys are really helpful. So every time.
Beth?
What's that?
Beth for insurance?
Is it Beth or Teresa?
Okay.
A Building Circle sent me them.
Okay, gotcha. I have another person.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Building Circle has been nothing but great. Like, oh my God, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're really
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
We have a good relationship with them too. We're actually trying to make a partnership with them into the app.
Really?
So when you're analyzing a deal, it actually will give you a quote from them right inside of the
They're my favorite so far.
Yeah,
honestly. They're so helpful, and they get back, like I said, they get back to you fast, which is crazy to me.
Good. Awesome. Talk to me about when you first joined and you started to submit offers. Like, how many offers did we have to submit to get a deal? Did you ever like get kind of burnt out? Like, holy shit, I have to submit 30 offers to get one. Like,
I submitted about like 20 offers to get that one property, and I have a lot of people saying like, why is it taking so long? I'm like, this is the long game. Like, it's gonna be long in the beginning, but like once you get that formation going, it's gonna keep happening like really quick. And I already see it happening quick. Like, so. I'm very patient and I don't give up with anything. So I could see people giving up on this easily, but it's just a long-term game. You got to see the future, like where you want to be in 5 years. Yeah. We'll definitely, that's what I keep thinking about. And if you have a goal, the biggest thing is the goals, right? Like I already have a goal and we could probably talk about it, but like how many properties I want in a certain amount of time, and just got to try and land it. Yeah. Gotcha. And you guys help. So
yeah. Appreciate that. And what is your why for investing? Like, why invest in real estate? Why?
I want passive income. That's it. I want a second retirement fund. So and live easy.
Yeah. Okay. Because do you get a pension? You get a pension from the police department or something like that, right? Okay, got it. So you want to have that, and then you want to continue working as a police officer.
Yeah, I love it, so I want to keep going. And I only work 13 days a month, so it's great. So it gives me a lot of time to do my business and do the real estate investing. Yeah. So that's exactly what I want to do.
Just trying to set yourself up. That's multiple streams of income in the future.
Yep. Okay. I just turned 31 2 days ago, so I want to. When I'm 35, I want at least like $10,000 a month in passive income. Yeah. And I know I could get there if we keep going.
Gotcha.
So.
And is that going to be a mixture with the amount of cash you have? A mixture of buying houses and selling them to kind of create some capital?
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, actually, because like I want to do like 3, like that one guy, like he really opened my mind. He did 5 at one time. If I could get 5 at one time, and let's just say it's 20 grand a pop on profit, that's 100 grand. Can I roll that into a 1031 to go buy like maybe a multifamily? Like, is that like a thing? Can you do that?
Gotcha. So you can do that. The thing is, if you sell those 5 houses, I believe you have to sell them all within like a certain time frame. Right. And then you would have to certain time frame kind of lock the money up in a 1031 and then try to sell them, take that cash, and then buy the next building. So you kind of have to time it well. That's the issue with the 1031. The cool thing though is that like
real estate in general is great for tax saving. So like even if you like bought 3, 4, 5 houses and you flip them all, you make like 10 to 20,000 bucks profit each, right? So you have like $50,000 in profit. What you can do is take all that money, go buy some rental properties, a duplex, a multifamily, and do a cost segregation study.
Gotcha.
So you can do that, and that like gets it from 50,000 bucks in tax to like maybe like $10,000 or $20,000. So you still have to pay a little bit of tax,
Right.
but it's way cheaper than the 1031. And then you have these like really strict guidelines, and you can't even touch the freaking money too.
Yeah.
So it's like these golden handcuffs, I kind of call them.
Okay.
With the 1031, I recommend just like giving yourself a little bit more freedom. And yeah, you might have to pay a little bit of tax, but dude, it's just going to be way less. Like, for example, if something were to happen and you need the cash, it's like, now I have to break the 1031. I already paid the lawyers. The money's in the lawyer's account or some escrow account.
Right,
and then it's like, you just have way less flexibility.
I like that. Okay. So I didn't even think about that. All right, good. So that's exactly what I would like to do, because I would like to use those profits to get more properties that I'm going to keep. Right. Like this duplex, I'm definitely going to keep. Like the rents in Detroit are crazy. It's 4-bedroom house, $1,400 a month. Like, come on.
Insane. It's insane. Are you doing any Section 8? You doing market rates? I know you did your research on real estate.
I would like to do Section 8. So I'm definitely going to talk to you guys about that, like or Megan about that, about landing one of those and, you know, just guaranteed income, you know?
Yeah. Section 8 in Detroit's really good. You can get a little bit of a premium. That's why I like Section 8 in Detroit compared to other markets. So I would definitely look into it because you can get like a little bit of a premium. Like a 3-bedroom in Detroit, you like a market rate tenant will be like $1,200, $1,300 or $1,200, let's say. And then a Section 8 will be like $1,600 bucks,
which is crazy.
So it's like $400 extra and it's guaranteed. So it just takes a little bit of time to get approved and get, you know, you have to deal with the government. So it is a little bit slower, but it's pretty damn good.
Awesome. Yeah. That's the goal.
Awesome. And then for you, like, I mean, the goal wise of 10,000 bucks a month, what I would recommend is try to work backwards of that number. Okay. So if you have, you know, I won't ask how much money you have, but let's say you have 50,000 bucks, right? You have to figure out, cool, do I need, if I buy these rental properties and I have $500,000 in rental properties that make 20% return, that gives me 10,000 bucks a month. Cool. So I need $500,000. So how do I get from 50K to $500,000? Best way is going to be through the turnkey fix and flip or the FlipSystem method, right?
That's
so
exactly it.
Buy the house, renovate it, rent it out, and then sell it, because that'll give you a 50% return on your money. So you just have to do that 10, 20 times to get the 50K to 500K. And then now you have your magic number where it's like, cool, now I can go and just try to place this money wherever it's going to be to reach my goal.
Exactly. And I would like to do that through, like, you know, apartment buildings one day, and we could discuss that too. Like, I don't know if you're in that market, but that does fascinate me too. But you gotta take one thing at a time, you know?
Yeah. What questions do you have about multifamily?
Don't you need like some type of experience with like flipping a certain amount of houses and like having like, there's a lot of like, it seems like there's a lot of like, you need this for the bank to approve you and stuff like that.
The internet makes it seem that way.
Okay.
You don't really need to. As long as you've owned some rental properties in the past, you've done real estate, you can show that, which you'll be able to. And that's why it's great to get your feet wet single family. You'll be able to get approved for that. Now, the problem with multifamily, which we just had a rate cut, which is great. So now multifamily is going to start to make a little bit more sense. The last like 3, 4, 5 years, it hasn't. So all the multifamily deals haven't made much sense. Now with the rate drop, they're going to start cash flowing a little bit better. What I would recommend doing, or like the biggest challenge is with multifamily is the best loans are like a minimum loan of $1 million.
Right.
So you got to buy a property for 1.5 million, which means you need $500,000
to put it down.
To put down.
Yeah.
So like either you get that money through flipping, which is going to take a long time, or you build some momentum with the flips to grow like a name for yourself within the department, within whatever, your friends and family and network, to where people now start flipping houses with you in Michigan. And then you bring them a multifamily. You're like, cool guys, we flipped 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 houses. Now let's buy a 20-unit apartment building together.
Right.
You put up 50 grand, you raise 450 from friends, family, whatever. You use the same team we connected you with.
Yeah, true.
You use the same realtor, property manager, contractor, all that kind of stuff.
That's what I was actually thinking. I wonder if they could do that.
They can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you'll just want to get a minimum, like $1.5 million property at the bare minimum. interest rates will be better, and then it's a non-recourse loan.
Okay.
And then for your experience, as long as you've bought some sort of rental properties in the past, you'll be fine.
Really?
They're not very strict about it.
Awesome. I do like how those are based off of like businesses, right? Like, and not comps in the area, because the comps can screw you sometimes. But if you're buying like areas that these guys recommend, you're good to go, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
So, and like Detroit is, at least the section I'm in, like it's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and for a lot of people like beginning, I mean, I think it's great the way you're getting started with like a single family, then a duplex, then like do a bunch more single families just on repeat and get that down. Then buy a 4-unit, then buy an 8-unit. Then you can like scale up. But like the real level, base minimum level you want to get to is like $1.5 million rental property, kind of multifamily kind of mark.
Like a 40-unit or something like that.
Yeah, and in Detroit, it's probably going to be like a 20-unit.
Yeah.
20-unit plus to get to that like bare minimum number. And then it's like, do I want to buy turnkey, which I probably would recommend, like something already with tenants in place. Detroit has a lot of like vacant 40-unit buildings for like $1 million.
I've seen that.
But then it's like $2 million in rehab. You got to get the city involved. Then the financing gets all weird and wacky. So if you can go buy something with 25 units ready to go, $1.5 million, like that's going to be a good score.
With the rents being under market value, so you could bump them up, you know, so that'd be nice.
Exactly. That's what you should do slowly. That's what I did in Memphis. I would buy a building for like $1 million, 20 units, renovate it for like $200,000-300,000, and then I would like sell it or refinance it for like $2.2 million. So you can make $1 million in margin just by increasing because it's treated like a business.
Exactly.
Like you said.
And do you still have that property?
So I bought like 5 apartment buildings in Memphis. I sold 4. I still have 1.
Nice.
One like trophy asset that's like on the best corner of Memphis.
Gotcha.
Like the best street ever. So I'm like, dude, I'm never selling this until somebody comes and like wants to tear down the building.
Of course.
And buy it off me. So
I don't blame you.
yeah. But the other 4 I flipped. And that'll be something too you'll encounter is like you're like, I'm gonna hold this duplex forever, and then you get a freaking crazy ass offer. And then you're gonna be like, oh no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like your goal is gonna change around that $10,000 a month thing, because you're gonna be like, man, yeah, sure, it's making $400-500 a month, but yeah, I can get 50 grand out of this or 80 grand out of this. And now it like makes you like rethink certain things about your assets and the equity you have in your properties.
True.
So it'll be an interesting journey that you're going on.
I can't wait. I live and breathe this stuff, so I love it.
Got you. About FlipSystem and working with us, like in what ways has FlipSystem helped you, supported you, and like, do you feel like it was helpful for you to make that move and make that trigger?
Yes, because like I'll find a deal I really, really like, and getting that second opinion from the guys. Yeah. And they're like, go with it, you know, like they give you the okay, they'll run through everything, inspection report, appraisal, they'll run through everything. And they'll be like, yeah, Ralph, I think it'll appraise for that amount. And sometimes they're like, no, it won't. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust their judgment, and I'm going to back out, you know? Yeah. And that's okay. Like you could back out, like it's fine. There's so many out there. Like I'm not worried about. Yeah. Like I actually, before I joined, I'm like, is there enough properties for everybody? You know what I mean? But there's too many, honestly.
I keep telling people that. We get that on like calls with people every single day. They're like, there can't be enough houses in Detroit. I'm like, you can have $1 trillion. There's not enough money to renovate that place. No, and that's one city. Yeah. Like, and there's like 15 cities that we're in.
I know. Cleveland really interests me a lot, just because it's another booming market. Yeah. It's a little more expensive, but definitely cool market as well. I haven't been there, but it looks really nice. Yeah.
Gotcha. And what's your thoughts on sticking to Detroit, adding multiple markets? What's your thoughts on that?
I would like to stay in Detroit as long as possible, and I plan on doing, my goal is 10 single family flips a year with adding like 2 or 3 duplexes with it per year until we could get that multi real estate deal. I have looked into other markets, like, you know, I remember Montgomery, Alabama, you guys mentioned. Maybe for a multi-real estate investment there, because I know the property taxes are super low. Yeah. But we'll see. Michigan's really good. So.
Good answer. You know? I love it. Some people just get in, they like do one house in Detroit, then they're like, all right, now it's time to go to another city. I'm like, no. You have the perfect setup. So you're saying, like, good answer.
I feel like you have to focus on one thing. Yeah. Because if you start going to different markets, which I thought I was going to do, how are you going to keep track?
100%.
There's no way.
And every team is different. Every realtor is different. Like you obviously have a good relationship with your team. Like,
oh yeah.
Jesus. So just keep pounding that. If you like working with them, trust me, they like working with you as well. So
I remember you mentioned that the relationships that goes a long way. Like me and my realtor are pretty close. We talk about football. We talk about outside things other than real estate, and it just builds that thing. And he's so easy to talk to, and so it's genuine. So like I like working with genuine people, so it makes it a lot easier. Yeah,
when we came up with the FlipSystem curriculum, I had there was 10 sections, and then it was connection to your team on the ground. And then we started getting some feedback, and I'm like, what the fuck? All right, I moved it from section 11 to section 2 or 1. I'm like, this is the most, it has nothing to do with real estate.
Right.
It's treat them like human beings. They're people. Some people are like, oh, they're just an email address. And it's like, dude, they're people too. They're out there hustling for you, working for you, making you money. They're making money along the way.
Of course.
But man, it's crazy to me.
It's don't be mean to these people. They could make or break you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're investing $25,000 for a down payment, they'll be like, whatever, they're good people. Just be nice to everybody. It's that easy. That way. Yeah. It's very easy.
100%. Any valuable, kind of lessons? What's the biggest thing you've kind of learned that was, because you obviously had this period of trying to invest in real estate and you finally did it. What's the biggest difference between what you thought and what actually happened?
So, obviously the curriculum's really good and it tells you a lot of things, but you really have to take action to really see what is going on. There's so many little nuances of little things, and it's very easy tasks, but things I didn't even think of I would encounter, all these little forms you had to sign and stuff like that, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But, just...
all the little shit.
All the little stuff. Just take action. That's it.
Yeah.
Once you take action, you dive in, you're gonna I like to fail because you're going to learn through that mistake. It's not going to happen again. Putting yourself in a room with bigger people that know way more that's why I really went to that one in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And I told you in my email, I'm I'm looking for an excuse to go down to Florida. I would have done it down there too, know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. If you can go back and change anything in your real estate journey, what would you change, do differently, if anything?
Do it sooner. Do it sooner. I wish I knew about FlipSystem 2 years ago. Unfortunately, I didn't. And it's definitely the way to go, because you need a mentor, I think. Can you do it on your own? Yes, but you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and it's good to learn through your mistakes, but at least it mitigates the mistakes with having the mentor. And your team acts like mentors, so it's great.
Yeah,
so
appreciate it.
And they check in on you and stuff, so it's good.
Yeah. One of the things that I started saying recently was people were like, oh, I can do it myself. And I'm sure you could, but it's are real estate mistakes $10, $100, or $20,000?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's in my opinion, going and doing it myself, because even when I first started, it took me 2 years to do my first deal. And it's would I would have paid a mentor or a coach to actually help me do that? And we did. We spent $50,000 on a mentorship program, and it still took us 2 years.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing was how do we have people take action? How do we make sure that people are going to come in and actually take action and do this thing? And it's tough to get people to make the move. And then also that's why we get those check-in calls, because just how's it going? We need to push people along as well.
Of course.
Through the whole entire journey that they're
they
going
probably
through.
see all the calculations on there, and they're in analysis paralysis with that, which they can easily. But if I see a number I like, I'm going to shoot for that. I'm going to shoot for that deal. And sometimes I harass my realtor sometimes, and I feel bad. I'm like, hey, did they accept yet? Sometimes they'll leave the realtors on red, and I get it. But you just got to shoot so many offers. I'm there every day, looking every day.
Good. Are you still making offers today, or are you going to wait on these 2 deals?
Oh yeah,
I would still going.
So I would like one more single family by the end of the year to flip, because I feel like those are pretty easy, 45 days, 60 days, and then get in, get out, and then I'll have the duplex by the end of the year, and then 2 single families under my belt, get that capital, and keep going. Maybe do what that guy did, 5 deals at once, and if I feel comfortable enough for it, because that was a risk. I give him credit for that. And I wonder how he's doing.
He's doing good. I mean, him and his buddy, I think they refinanced that. Yeah, I met with them earlier this year here at the studio, and I think they refinanced those houses now. And then, yeah, he was like, I went way too fast and shit like that. I was like, yeah, you did. We literally told you not to do that.
I remember watching it and you're like this, yeah, you went really fast. You were like blunt with him. It was so funny. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I'll do it. It's great.
He went way too quick. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody? Like, how do you think someone can snap out of that analysis paralysis that you're in? Is it like, because I feel like too, when you pay for that coaching or mentorship, it also like helps you break out of that because now you have like an accountability partner.
That's exactly it.
Is that what?
Say that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Accountability, and also you need to have skin in the game. Like, that's the reason why people get an analysis paralysis. I'm just buying books and reading it, like, and I'm running deals from my head. And I'm like, oh, I found this deal. Imagine if I had the money to do it. Like, when you're in that analysis paralysis, it's hard to get out of it. But once you like put some skin in the game, you have some money in there. You're like, oh, I want to make that money back, and let's go make it back by flipping houses, you know, or cash out refining or whatever you got to do.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. And then are you interested in like, what kind of strategies when you were you researching like fix and flip, BRRRR, Airbnb, like everything?
I think Airbnb was at first, and then I'm like, maybe we're down the line one day, but I think the BRRRR is the best, to be honest. Like, yeah, I want to, like I said, I want to do a couple BRRRRs at the same time and a couple just quick fix and flips, done, get out, get some money, pay for the next BRRRR.
Yeah.
Basically.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I love it. It's good. It's good. And you just got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I could give advice with, you know?
Yeah,
it's just, because it is an uncomfortable feeling at first, but once you see that people are helping you, like, it just becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, I gotcha. Cool. And then your vision for the next year, buy a couple more deals this year, and then eventually just scale up a real estate portfolio in 5 years to hit that $10,000.
100%. I mean, hopefully I could make more than 10,000. I think I can if I keep going the rate I'm going. Even if I had like 10 duplexes that are cash flowing me like $600-700 a month, like after vacancies and all that stuff, that's $7,000 a month. And also rent increases every year most of the time. Yeah. So it's just like, it's going to keep going up and up and up.
Yeah. Gotcha. What can I help you with? Answer for you.
So that 1031 exchange thing, that was definitely a question. Because I remember we were talking about scale. Would you recommend that multi-real estate thing? Or would you, like, what do you usually do? Like, do you have like a lot of duplexes? Like, or do you have still a lot of properties type thing? Or you just sold them all and you're just doing different things?
Depends what the goal is. So if the goal is really $10,000 and I'm going to stop, then that would be a different strategy than like $10,000, but I say 10,000 just because that sounds cool. But actually, if I get to $10,000, what would I do with so like, I'm addicted, so I can't stop. But some people are like, dude, if I had 10 duplexes, see me on the beach, see you later. So, but that's not me. So if that is you, that's fantastic, but that would be like a different strategy. But if it's like, I want to flip houses because I enjoy the game and I want to keep doing that and I want to see if I can get to like, cool, I do like 5 houses a month, then 10 houses a month, then 20. Then it's like a different strategy and you have to think more about it like a business instead of just like a personal portfolio.
Right. And that's exactly how I feel. Like, I'm addicted to it. I think about real estate every day. My girlfriend makes fun of me because she's like, I'll be on the couch. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you think I'm doing? I'm looking at houses, you know? And I want to just keep going. Like, I want to keep going. After the 10,000 mark, whatever it is, I want to keep going, keep going. So like, I want to know that approach, you know what I mean? So
then for you, like, to really supercharge the hell out of it is going to be by getting other people involved.
Okay.
So once you complete this duplex in the single family house, make little, like, go through the FlipSystem Teachable, make case studies. Like, you know, they're already going to know who I am, but I'm Ralph. I bought this house for this, renovated for this, sold it for this. This is the profit. This is what my expectations were. This is what actually happened. I exceeded expectations. And then here's a new deal. And like, dude, if you can get a house in like the same zip code, same street, it's like, now I'm buying the house next door.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, you'll send it to people and they'll be like, oh, no shit, I'm going to like invest in this. So then you can start like having people lend you money. And then you can start doing that and getting other people involved because you don't have unlimited money.
No.
If you do, you wouldn't be working. So
Exactly.
you'd be doing it full time.
Exactly.
So that's where I would get other people involved. Then you get to really supercharge things, and then you start building that little like brand and kind of like name for yourself as well, as like, yeah, I'm investing with my buddy, we're doing deals in Michigan, it's fantastic. And then, you know, if the deal doesn't work out, you just make a JV with them and, you know, hold the house together with them and split cash flow and stuff like that.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so like that's like the oh shit like moment, like hey, let's do that. Gotcha.
Yeah. So your first couple, I would like, you buy a house for like 70 grand, renovate it for 30, so you're all in for 100. I would have a friend of mine fund 90% of the deal, so he'd give me $90,000 and we'd split the profit 50-50.
Okay.
So you'd put 10K in, you do all the work, he would put in $90,000 and split the profits.
Nice. That's exactly what I would like to do.
Got it. So that's what I would do. Then you just get even more and more scale and more deals under your belt. You also just get some more learning lessons along the way. And then you'll be making like a great return, because you'll put in like $10,000 and make like $10,000. So you'll double your money.
Oh, absolutely.
And with the team you have on the ground too, it's pretty seamless for you. It shouldn't be taking too much extra effort, except for the deal finding side. So that's what I would recommend if you really wanted to treat it like a business and really scale it up. Because then think about it, you do one of those a month with none of your own money.
It's huge.
Like there's your $10,000 a month.
Easy.
You know what I mean?
Easy money.
Way better than flipping houses to $500,000 to then buying a multifamily that makes $10,000 or buying multiple that makes $10,000 a month. That's going to be like a 3, 4, 5, 10-year plan.
Right. Exactly.
Versus, can I flip one house a month? Yes. Cool. I just can't do it with my own money. I'll run out of money. Great. I need to raise.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I want to do. And like I said, I want to do 10 next year at least.
Yeah.
And just keep going, you know? So
yeah.
I actually had a friend I work with. It's pretty funny. He bought a house from you guys, Martel Turnkey. And he's like, oh, I just bought this house in Cleveland. It makes me like $300 a month. I'm like, that's great. I'm actually the guy that fixes the house and sells it to you. And he's like, how do I get involved with that? So I have a couple of people that are really interested in the program.
Love it.
And I keep telling them about it. So, but they want to, I'm going to build a case study, like you said, and send it to them. And that's how I'm going to be like, hey, like if you really want to, if you want this to help you out with your career, like this is a real life. They want to see real life. A lot of people want to see real life examples. And I don't blame them, but just got to dive in.
I know. And that's the thing. We'll show people real life examples and they're like, okay, 20 more. And then it's like analysis paralysis around the examples.
Exactly.
And it's like, dude, this is not getting you anywhere to like, we're obviously making money.
Right.
Like there's no way we're doing deals and not making money. So what's your actual worry here? And then it's just like it's just the same thing, analysis paralysis.
It's hard to get out of it. I was in it and it's hard to get out of it. But once you take like I said, take the action, you'll be right out of it. And you can't go back. You won't go back. Yeah. You won't go back.
You can't.
I remember at the Fort Lauderdale class, you guys showed a real life example, and it was Connor's. And I won't explain the profit, but it was a really nice profit off his first deal. I'm like, damn, good for him. And then I sat down with him. He's like, actually, I was supposed to make more, but the first deal fell through. But it was my first deal, so I'm like, I'll take that money. It was still really, really good. And he's like, all of a sudden the money hit my bank. I'm like, wow, this is real. Yeah. And then he was telling me how he wanted it. That's where I got it from. He's like, I'm going to do 10 this year. Yeah. And he said he's on track to it. Yeah, that's freaking amazing. The year's not even over. No. You know, so, but I actually texted him maybe a couple months ago, and he's still super informative. You know, it's like you always have these relationships with the FlipSystem people too. Yeah. Love that. Did you download the app yet? I did. Awesome. It's on my front page. I love it. Love it. It's addicting. Awesome. Like you said, it's addicting. Have you been analyzing deals on it? Oh, of course. Of course. Shit. Yeah, of course. So if you see mine, it's a lot. And then I'll just try and delete them if I see like a profit I don't like. But I'm like, it's hard because I love them, you know? Yeah. But like, I think you said once before, don't fall in love with one because it might not work out. And I've learned that too. That's a big thing I learned as well. Yeah. Because if the numbers don't make sense, don't do it. Yeah. 100%. There's so many more. I know. And sometimes you do fall in love with that little house that looks so great. And then you're like, fuck, this is perfect. And then there's like 90 offers and you're like the lowest one. It's like, all right, great. Here we go. That's people investing for emotion, not with logic. Exactly. And that calculator is literally logic. It tells you everything. Like, and I go conservative. So I'm like, all right, like, that's how, like, if I see that number and it's like that, I'm like, I'm going for it. Yeah. Going for it. You. What else can I help you with? So actually my main question was like, when you flip a house and everything like that, is there good tax accountants out there that help you with that capital gains tax or whatever like that? I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it, but like that's a question I always had.
Gotcha. So I would run it by your your original CPA first and see if they have any knowledge around it. You might have to find like a real estate related CPA. And I've been getting this question a lot from other people in the community. So maybe I'll find like an actual partnership for that. But ask your original CPA is always my best thing, because then you don't have to change CPAs and all this kind of shit.
Right.
You can. So when you go and flip houses, let's say you make like $20,000 in profit, right? And that's like, let's say it's taxed at 50%. Which is not, it's going to be your normal tax bracket.
Right.
So your normal tax bracket at 30%. But let's just say it's $10,000 in tax. What you want to do is at the end of the year, so it's, getting close to the end of the year now, you kind of look at what your taxable income is going to be, your short-term capital gains. And then you want to take as much cash as you can and buy as many things as you can before year end and do a cost segregation study. And then every single cost segregation study will cost you like $750, but you will save like $15,000 in taxes per one.
It's amazing. And I think actually, because that's why I wanted to ask you, the 1031, I think to have that account, it's like $1,500 or something like that. So the $750, that's way cheaper. And where do you get this cost segregation? Like, is that from a bank? Like, where do you get
so
that?
your CPA, you can ask your CPA about it. They might be able to connect you with a service that can do it. There's another service online. Just go on Google tonight and do self cost segregation study. You actually pay them $750, $500. You plug in everything about the property you purchased, when you purchased it, yada, yada, yada. And they do the survey for you like virtually.
Oh, it's amazing.
So, and I think they might like request stuff like an inspection or whatever, or they'll go do an inspection on the property. But you can do that, and then they just give you the report, and you just go to your CPA and you're like, here you go, buddy. And then he just files it.
Oh, he files it off of that.
Yep.
See, that's smart. I didn't even think of that. So I'm glad I got to ask that, because that was my main question always. And I'm like, I can't find a straight answer, honestly. Like, You know, so. But,
a lot of people like to jump around.
Oh my God.
The tax thing. And I think the biggest, just talk to your CPA. And then if he has no idea, then all right, you might want to start looking for somebody else. If you want to do this into the future, which it sounds like you do. And then I would just type, New Jersey or New York real estate CPA, or, cost segregation CPA, find somebody with that, have a call with those people, those folks. And the reason why nobody gives you a straight answer is because there really is no freaking straight answer, for God's sakes. No. So like it depends on what work you do. Is it passive income, active income? How many hours are you spending on real estate or not? Are you a real estate professional? Like there is so many nuances.
Right.
Everything I told you might not even work for you, even though it worked for me.
Right.
So, but it's a good place to at least start, and that's what I'd recommend. Yeah,
and I know I've heard like having those long-term rental properties will help you with taxes as well. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, like if I have that plus the flipping, it should off balance somewhere. You know? And as long as I'm keeping most of my profit, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the great thing about the long-term properties is that they're pretty much tax-free. Yeah. Like they cash flow $200 to $300 a month, but then you have the depreciation, interest, repairs and maintenance, property management. Pretty much you're paying no tax, no income tax on those properties. So those are great. Plus you can do a cost seg on it when you buy it to save like 10 to 15% of the value of it. So $100,000 house, you buy it, cost seg $750 to save like $10,000-15,000 in taxes. When I've done in the past.
Amazing. Yeah, that's all really the questions I got. So
awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming on the
show.
Appreciate it. Of course. See you on the next one.
Thank you for staying until the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that podcast with Ralph. If you want more free content around how to invest in real estate, it should be popping up on the screen right now. It's going to be a free course breaking down step-by-step how to invest in real estate right now. Give that a click and give that a watch.